Hello and welcome to this quick Friday live. Wherever you are tuning in, I hope you are well and staying safe. I am Prabin Gautam. I help entrepreneurs and enterprises to build their digital brand and monetize it. This morning, I've been talking with one of my mentor and a good friend, and I've been very lucky to have him this morning quickly on the live show, so that we can all share the experience and insights about how things are in this new world. So no other than Brad, who is Australia's leading sales strategist. He's a true expert when it comes to sell or sales team to change or transform to the trusted advisor. So, welcome to the show, Brad. Great to have you.
Ben, what a pleasure to be here.
You bet. Let's get straight to the point, Brad, if that's okay. So, I'm talking to you as a thought leader and sales strategist, and I want to know how the selling is changing in this new world, Brad.
Well, there's no doubt that the world's shifted, and we all know that. The way that we work is shifted, but also sales teams and organizations who want to get that edge in selling have shifted as well. And if you're selling like you used to, even 2, 3 years ago, you may be a dinosaur in selling right now, and also your sales team might be. I hate to say it, but the people I'm working with right now are thinking about advanced, current, new world strategies. In other words, selling in the new world by using and adopting things that maybe they sort of played with in the past, but now they're really committing to things. Do you want me to go through some of those things that I'm seeing right now?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Especially how I like your perspective, especially when you're saying things are adaptive, and also you always talked about the trusted single enterprise. So let's go deeper here, if that's okay.
Well, there's a lot of things that I'm certainly noticing and things that people are adopting to get the edge in selling today. I mean, just for instance, you need to have that empathetic service approach to your selling. I think, service to me is selling in so many ways. You serve and serve and serve, and opportunities come from that. Now, it's not just a matter of hoping those opportunities come. You've got to be strategic about it in terms of how you go to market and how you create a sales opportunity on the back of a service commitment. But certainly empathetic, generous, curious sales teams who are there for the long haul, do what they say they will, make promises and deliver. They are the ones that are going to succeed moving forward. So that's the starting premise, if you like, around selling in the new world. As we build upon that, we start to think about how at the end of the transaction and the conversations with our buyers, referrals and introductions and alliances and communities start to take place. And I call that collaboration being the new way of selling. And I think that, again, great sales teams are saying, hey, we have never had a referral strategy. We've never had an introduction strategy. We've never really built a community or been part of alliance relationships. This makes a lot of sense. It's a zero cost, zippity doo dah. It'll cost you nothing to get good at this in terms of collaboration and understanding how selling is done today. And I'll give you one more. One more is messaging to market. There's no doubt with retooling, reskilling, and reshaping our sales teams. And just if you're a salesperson by yourself or a business owner, and you're thinking about how can I reshape what I do? How can I make myself what I call relevant in the new selling world? You need to get really good at your messaging. In other words, what I call a message of uniqueness to market in terms of why you over anyone else, and what your story is, and how that's a benefit to your buyer. What's in it for them? So there's three things I've noticed, and certainly I know we're going to talk a bit about the cultural side of things, but they're the foundation stones to how we sell in the new world.
Oh, that's great. Glad that you touched it. I was reading just the other books, and I think that was one of 13th book, isn't it, right now? What you have done, and with the audios and video program, obviously, you're so passionate about helping business to win our growth scales. So you mentioned something around the line with collaborations, because it's not just the selling. So what does that mean in detail, Brad?
Well, collaboration is internal and external. And when I say external collaboration, it comes down to our ability to work with our clients to create referrals and introductions. And there's got to be a win-win with that, a reciprocation, if you like. Traditional salespeople made a terrible mistake many years ago, and it comes from insurance sales. And that was the insurance salesman would come to the house and say, thank you. They'd sign the paperwork and often say, before I leave, and they used to have a cup of tea in front of them, and they'd say, before I leave, I'd like to have 3 names and numbers of people who you know, who I can go and now talk to about their insurance needs. I mean, that's a win-lose. In other words, you're dobbing your mates in half the time for an insurance salesperson to be pushy to say, hey, how can I go and serve myself? The new way of selling, collaboration, is all about how we create win-win opportunities. How can I be a benefit to you? How can you be a benefit to me? How can we jointly work on introductions, communities, alliances? I'm part of different business groups, part of different associations and institutes. Would they be a good target for you? Perhaps they would be. How can I introduce you to my network? You know that with my Friday Schools of Sales and my trusted advisor community, that people in the room are always talking to each other about how they can help each other, and opportunities happen, business is done in the room just by collaborating.
Totally, couldn't agree more here. It's all comes with a win-win-win, isn't it? Our clients are, the clients are winning, clients is winning, and we all are winning. So, which must need to have a long-term vision, a long-term goals. And I think you touched briefly there is not about the transaction, but the whole transformation of that journey to make sure it happens. So, what are the? I see that a number of viewers are watching this right now from different social media, including Facebook, LinkedIn. We are in LinkedIn Live right now. So, what are some tips, Brad? I know you are sharing a couple of insights and doing a special workshop for my team on next Friday. So, those viewers who are interested, obviously, you can drop me an email, quick email to me. So, what are some tips to make sure that everyone on the same page? How can be is a trusted single enterprise can win, Brad?
Well, one of the things that I just talked about is collaboration, and it's external collaboration. There's also an opportunity for internal collaboration. One of the things I've noticed over the last 30 years, if you like, Prabin, is that inside businesses, and every business has maybe perhaps a sales team, perhaps a marketing department, the accounts, the customer service, dispatch. Where are the opportunities that are not used in that collaboration internally in the business? And so I've coined the phrase trusted single enterprise. And I believe this is one, again, of the strategies that a great sales team and a business that's proactive can be using in the new world. So what does a trusted single enterprise mean? Well, if you look at the 3 words, trusted, in other words, we are trusted. We've built this spirit of generosity, service. People like us. They are raving fans about us. Single, meaning that all departments are working together. Sales, service, parts, if you like, sales, service, dispatch, sales, service, marketing. You can join the dots in terms of what those departments are, but all 3 teams, perhaps even more teams, are working together to be one single enterprise where we actually have one united front to market. And the last one is enterprise. And what I mean by enterprise is that if you get these teams working together, and I've seen this firsthand in working in agricultural sales, in working in telecommunications, in working with truck sales, is that if you get those departments working together, the flow of opportunities that happen inside a business are endless. See, we talk about spending all this money on business acquisition, and you know this better than anyone else, that people go out and they get Google AdWords and they do a whole range of different things, Facebook, and whatever they need to do to get their leads into the business. It could be telemarketing. There is always going to be a place for that. That is a proactive outbound activity. What I'm saying is that there's a whole other gold mine over here that companies are not using, and that is the trusted single enterprise working with the clients and prospects we already have to be able to go deeper, higher, wider, and deeper to create these opportunities through a great sales culture inside the organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things which I'm a great believer with what I have learned and from you is obviously higher, wider, deeper. So the clients, you're not just always a hunting mode, because many times, whether that may be, whether that may be entrepreneurs or business owners or even medical professionals or health professionals, we always, new clients, new patients, yeah, which is fine. But at the same time, as you touched on, many times we forget that we are sitting in the gold mine. So understanding that and really having that single enterprise touch point is a key, isn't it, Brad?
Well, if you think of the wasted opportunities inside organizations, it's massive. And every time I talk to a team about how do you actually work together, how does the internal service department or the internal account executives work with the external salespeople to actually collaborate more to look at the opportunities? One of the things I've picked up over the years is that sometimes the internal service person, or perhaps the service technician on a farm in the farming community, they get so much more ear time in terms of conversations with the buyer than what this field salesperson does. Why? Because the field salesperson to that farmer or to that other buyer is thinking, oh, these guys are here to sell me again. Whereas we look at the role of that internal service person, the service technician, the person who's working inside the factory, the person who's on site, they have a trusted ability to be able to have a conversation that's rich, that allows then the field salesperson to get in on the conversation and create a bigger pie, organic
Mm.
growth inside the company. And this is one of the missed opportunities inside any sales team.
You bet. You bet. Thank you once again, Brad. It's 10 minutes. It goes so quickly like that. And I'm sure, those viewers who are watching this, feel free to give us a thumbs up, share this post. And I totally believe, as Brad said, it's all about the single enterprise and to win the business or to win in the new world. That's great, Brad. Anything you want to share before we wrap up for this today?
No, there's a lot to it, Prabin. Of course, we've hit the highlights today, but the trusted single enterprise has a range of different attributes and specifics around what makes it great, but there are also processes that they can deliver together. There's a whole framework there. But if you think and start thinking like, how do we become a trusted single enterprise? How do we collaborate internally and develop a rich sales culture that goes through the organization? You will tap into mountains of gold inside your business.